What is an operating system? An operating system, OS, is a software which acts as an interface between the end user and computer hardware. Every computer must have at least one OS to run other programs. An application like Chrome, MS Word, games, etc. needs some environment in which it will run and perform its task. The OS helps you to communicate with the computer without knowing how to speak the computer's language. It is not possible for the user to use any computer or mobile device without having an operating system. What is a kernel? The kernel is the central component of a computer operating systems. The only job performed by the kernel is to manage the communication between the software and the hardware. A kernel is at the nucleus of a computer. It makes the communication between the hardware and software possible. While the kernel is the innermost part of an operating system, a shell is the outermost one. 1. Monolithic. A monolithic kernel is a single code or block of the program. It provides all the required services offered by the operating system. It is a simplistic design which creates a distinct communication layer between the hardware and software. 2. Microkernels. Microkernel manages all system resources. In this type of kernel, services are implemented in different address space. The user services are stored in user address space, and kernel services are stored under kernel address space. So, it helps to reduce the size of both the kernel and operating system. Functions of an operating system. In an operating system, software performs each of the function. 1. Process management. Process management helps OS to create and delete processes. It also provides mechanisms for synchronization and communication among processes. 2. Memory management. Memory management module performs the task of allocation and deallocation of memory space to programs in need of this resources. 3. File management. It manages all the file-related activities such as organization, storage, retrieval, naming, sharing, and protection of files. 4. Device management. Device management keeps tracks of all devices. This module also responsible for this task is known as the I/O controller. It also performs the task of allocation and deallocation of the devices. 5. I/O system management. One of the main objects of any OS is to hide the peculiarities of that hardware devices from the user. 6. Secondary storage management. Systems have several levels of storage which includes primary storage, secondary storage, and cache storage. Instructions and data must be stored in primary storage or cache so that a running program can reference it. 7. Security. Security module protects the data and information of a computer system against malware threat and authorized access. 8. Command interpretation. This module is interpreting commands given by the enacting system resources to process that commands. 9. Networking. A distributed system is a group of processors which do not share memory, hardware devices, or a clock. The processors communicate with one another through the network. 10. Job accounting. Keeping track of time and resource used by various job and users. 11. Communication management, coordination and assignment of compilers, interpreters, and another software resource of the various users of the computer systems. The advantage of using operating system. Allows you to hide details of hardware by creating an abstraction. Easy to use with a GUI. Offers an environment in which a user may execute programs/applications. The operating system must make sure that the computer system convenient to use. Operating system acts as an intermediary among applications and the hardware components. It provides the computer system resources with easy-to-use format. Acts as an intermediator between all hardwares and softwares of the system. Disadvantages of using operating system. If any issue occurs in OS, you may lose all the contents which have been stored in your system. Operating systems software is quite expensive for small-size organization which adds burden on them. Example Windows. It is never entirely secure as a threat can occur at any time.